Ryan Aguas today. Ryan, how are you? I'm excited to talk to you about student loan forgiveness programs and what you guys are doing to help people that have tons of student loans. It's not a fun thing, is it?
Yeah, it's good to join you today. Yes, a lot of people starting off their careers in a pile of debt. That's exactly how you want to do it, right? With starting out in the hole, right?
No, you don't
So
want that. You don't want to do that. And especially with these high profession careers where people, I've heard stories 15 years they're eating they're not until they have their loans paid off, even though they're making a mint of money. They gotta wait till those loans are paid off, so it's so tough.
yeah, exactly. So many of you should remember the first episode we did on this topic. You can go find it in our previous episodes where we joined and I went into detail on the student loan method that we use, our strategy. And we just wanted to revisit this we want to go over a few topics today to refresh you, maybe give you some updates and give you a little more um, reasons why this may be something to worth considering.
Okay, so what's new with the federal student loan forgiveness programs?
Yeah, there's been a lot of changes with the new administration, the Trump administration coming in, um, making changes in all steps of the government. And basically, their goals when it came to federal student loan forgiveness was really just to bring it back to the pre-Biden era. So Biden came in, he made changes to the SAVE Act. SAVE was made it a lot more accessible to get $0 monthly payments and forgiveness. Um, so while that is a lot more accessible and a lot more common to get the $0 payments, it's not something that was impossible to do before the SAVE Act. This is actually something that has been being done for with this strategy we've been using has been used for around 10 years now, maybe over 10 years now. And even before the SAVE Act, we've been able to get $0 payments. We can still get $0 payments and forgiveness with that as well.
Why aren't people seeing the relief they need?
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons for that. Many times people will just overqualify themselves before they ask. They'll say, "Well, I make too much money. That's not going to work for me. It's income based." Um, so they count themselves out. They say that, we're not going to look because we already know the answer. I already chat GPT'd it and it says it's not going to work for me, or I already applied once before and I still have a $1,500 payment every month. So what more are you going to do for me? Well, there's multiple reasons why a revisit can help you. Well, we're going to work with professionals. Our analysts are the experts in student loan tax law. They know more than the person that's processing the application with you. They're actually going to do the application with you, and they're going to resubmit it multiple times. I've seen them do it 5 times. I've seen them uh, send it in paper when the system's down. They're going to do whatever it takes to get you that application in accurately. Um, and also, there was an inspector general's report that revealed that the work that's done by the middlemen processors, so many of you might have Ed Financial or Mohela. There's several different repayment services out there. 61% of the time, their work is inaccurate. So is that going to affect your chances as a borrower to get federal loan repayment plan that you want if 61% of the information is inaccurate, if they're not rechecking their work, if they're not um, going back through each detail? Now consider this. What about your own application that you're submitting? Is that accurate? Are you accurately portraying your income? There's multiple things that are different on this application and ways to represent your income. It's different than a FAFSA application. It's different than a tax application. It's not the same. It's its own thing. There's ways to represent your self income accurately. We're not wanting to inaccurately represent to yourself, but we want to accurately represent yourself so that way you can get the best chances. Um, so that's why it really helps to work with an expert that will represent you accurately and has a very high success rate in doing so.
Very interesting. Just about this stuff because sometimes you're getting the wrong rep and you're not going to get the deal when you could still get the deal.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then here's another part to that too. So you are able to get into the program, but what happens now? You have 20 to 25 years to make those payments. Um, and then if you make those qualified payments, you can get forgiveness at the end. Well, um, if you don't make those payments, if you follow up with compliance and you fall out of compliance, then that can cause you to get booted out of the program, and all the interest that has not been being collected will be added back on. And you don't get the forgiveness. So let's say you did all that work. Let's say you did it on your own. You did all that work. You've gotten the forgiveness. Um, or you're in a program that gives you the forgiveness. You've been making it for 10 years, and then now it gets added back on. You've did all that work, but now all you did was essentially just push back your your payment plan. You could have just done the standard repayment plan. It would have been paid off by now. It's been 10 years. Um, so where does that leave you? That leaves you in a worse situation than before. If you're going to start a program like that, you want to make sure that you can finish it with the forgiveness because that's the ultimate goal. Um, so we're going to work with you each year until that forgiveness is met. And then as a reminder, if you haven't seen the first episode on this, you're going to be met with a large tax at the end of that, and you're going to be prepared through our strategy to
Okay.
pay for that tax.
So why is this not just a forgiveness program?
Yeah, that's exactly where I was leading to with that last note I mentioned. So yeah, so this is not just the end goal is not just forgiveness. The end goal is to leave you financially well and better than where you started. Um, so you are now putting a portion of your savings into a wealth growing strategy. Um, so let's say you're making $2,000 a month. If we're able to, or let's say your bill is $2,000 a month on the student loans, um, and we're able to get to that to zero. If you're able to, you have the circumstances, we'll put 500 or maybe even 1,000 if you're able to. We'll put that into a wealth growing strategy that's going to be growing over time. Over 20 years, a lot can be done. Um, and now you're going to have a large tax at the end, uh, depending on how much is forgiven, but it's going to be taxable income. So now you're stuck with, tens of thousands of dollars in extra taxes that you're not prepared for, that you you're going to either have to take it out of your savings or out of this strategy. So we're going to prepare you for that. That way you are prepared in every way. Let's say there's changes to the program that have extra fees required at the end of it. It doesn't matter. We're prepared. We have the money that's accessible to you, that you can borrow, that you have access to. So you won't be punished because of that.
All right. Best place people is to contact myself or Ryan. You go to Reignstorm mediagroup.com and they'll be on the podcast show notes a specific place to contact Ryan. It's really something really look at, Ryan, because having all that debt, especially with all the costs going up, it's important to plan for your future of retirement and also plan for your future of not having as many payments.
Yeah, that's where I see the stress is because uh, they see the cost going up, and you have a plan when you take out the loans. You're like, okay, I'll have to work this, I'll have to live like this until it's paid off. Um, but then you see the cost of everything else going up and you didn't prepare for that. So now you're cutting even more than you've expected, working even more than you've expected, and it take a lot of work to be able to get to the position where you are. We work with a lot of doctors, MDs that work in high stress situations, um, and they work hard to earn their money. So that's a lot of times the situation we want. We want to relieve that stress from you. We want to be able to take some of that burden off of your back. So yeah. So if you have this situation where you have over 100,000 in federal student loans, more, or someone in your family is, um, reach out to connect with us. We have the information in the description. You can go to rainstormmediagroup.com. This strategy has been used for more than a decade. It has a 5-star trust pilot rating. We are on top of the latest developments. We work with the absolute experts. There's no one better than them when it comes to student loans. And our goal is to put more of your earned money in your pocket so you can keep the money that you actually earned.
All right. Appreciate it, Ryan. Thanks again.
Thanks, everyone.
That was a special simulcast of Neil Haley